Hi Angela, good to have your essays. Thank you for keeping going and thank you for the error list and the corrections. Well done, good work there. So in many countries, traditional foods are being replaced by fast food. This has a negative impact on families, individuals, society. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So there's quite interesting things here to talk about. So experts throughout both, have debated fast food culture, such as hamburger, pizza, instant noodle, is dominated and the local cuisines would be eliminated. Some believe it would cause drawbacks to life and even the communities. Personally, I strongly agree. Okay, there's a little bit of confusion here in the tenses that you're using. So experts, that's fine, that's from the template. You could always say nutrition experts and health professionals or health professionals. Globally, you could say something like that if you'd rather. You don't have to use every word from it. Now, have debated fast food culture. Okay, they're not just debating the culture, they're debating the growth of fast food culture. This is the key here, isn't it? How much it's growing. Now, how the growth is dominating. ING there. So present continuous is dominating. And you need another subject here. They are concerned that local cultures, it's not would, it's could be eliminated. Okay? Yeah, so just be very, very careful on that first sentence. We need to get a strong, for good impact here on the first one. So, nutrition experts or experts have debated the growth of fast food culture, such as hamburger. Yep. No. Sorry, you don't need that. So, have debated, this is your verb, the growth of, and they are concerned that local cuisines could be eliminated. Yeah. Some believe. What is it? The culture? So you need to be more specific here. Yeah, this trend could, and it's definitely not would, they are different. You want here could cause drawbacks to life. That's very strong. Could cause drawbacks to. Yeah, you need to kind of explain a little bit what you mean. Do you mean negative health? What do you mean there? I was trying to say, we'll just argue. Yep, okay. Now, you're not going to argue both sides. Be careful when you say that, because you're not going to argue both sides. You'll get this. You said one side. You're going to go on one side. So this essay will discuss these problems using example. Yeah, so be very, very careful. The template's there to guide you, but you also have to kind of adapt it for which essay you're writing. Okay? On the one hand, there's ample evidence that fast food restaurants and preserved foods have become more crucial, not only in metropolis, good, but also in small towns. Okay. In small towns. Okay. Preserved foods, it's processed. It can be preserved, but I think what we're really talking about here is processed. Okay. Firstly, the preparation and cooking time for fast foods, such as freezing food, canning, microwave meals, is much shorter. Okay, good. Which means that they are available, or easily available, and cheap. Those are the key things. Yeah, so it's very important, this little sentence here, just to like expand this here. Secondly, the capital cost of fast food production is much lower than traditional foods. The farmer could be mass produced. Okay, for example, 90% of all dual earner families adopted fast food for dinner. We wouldn't say adopt, you'd say preferred to eat fast food for dinner, as they could spare more leisure time after their work. Good. is favourable for many workers in lowering, let's do it this way, in lowering the burden. So just showing a bit more grammar here, in lowering, going into it that way, okay? But well done, you've got lots of information here. I don't want you just to talk about fast food production though, because we need to make sure we talk about comparing them to traditional food. So traditional food, remember, if you were eating with your family or you were cooking a meal with your family, you'd be using fresh ingredients, they'd be better quality ingredients, you'd be sharing that moment with your family. So we have to be able to talk about all these. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here that you're talking about the fast food industry and you're not focusing on the other half of the question. Okay, so really, really important there. On the other hand, so you need to change that. Although there's a case for fast food. Now, you don't need this. Although there's a case for fast food improving. Here's your verb. It's a difficult sentence using although. It's a very difficult structure, but you still have to have your subject and your verb. Fast food improving modern civilians' life. Impact on health cannot be overstated. Good. Well done. That's a nice sentence. This is largely because fast food usually contains high content of sodium, sugar, and oil. So malnutrition in food could be, for example, study showed the elevated levels of obesity. Absolutely. Yes. Okay, so I think you really need to make this link very clear here because it's the first time you're really comparing the two, and I'm almost at the end of your essay. So I think we need to rebalance this ideally. It's a little bit more about kind of too much about fast food and you're not doing the comparing, which you need to do. Cannot be eaten totally instead of traditional food. Okay, do you see the issue here? What you could be talking about is family bonds. If you're preparing a family meal together, you're kind of chatting and you're eating together and you're sharing your ideas. And if you're having fast food, often you're just having it at your desk, so you're not with your family. So I think this is the impact here on families. Individuals may become more lonely. Society is definitely the health. So you need to pick up this and push this point. So I think there's a lot of stuff in this paragraph which I would not use. I'd focus more on that. So you could say, this is the impact on the health centres and the cost of the obesity problems, those sort of things. I think you also need to bring in. So you it's a good essay, but for me, you're not quite on the task achievement, answering exactly the right question. But I like your ideas. You've got some good sentences in there. Although it's convenient, health is vital, and therefore traditional foods less nuisance. Maybe not nuisance, maybe less damage to health. Damage will not be absent. Yeah, I don't think you need that line there actually. I think maybe it predicted that things will rebalance towards appreciating the values of eating as a family, something like that. Okay, so I think that that would be a better kind of ending. So lots and lots of good stuff in here. You're doing well. Keep going. So informal letter. You were going to see your friend and you couldn't. Okay, dear Sam. So apologise that I missed the chance to barbecue with you. Oh, okay. This is fine, but you can go more informal. Remember, it's an informal letter. So I'm so sorry I didn't get the chance to, so show the examiner you know this is an informal letter, and that because it's an informal letter, that's the way to do it. Okay, I planned. You can actually go I'd planned, past perfect. I'd planned, which is I had. So that'd be quite nice to show in that grammar there. I'd planned to take the train from Paris to Avignon, which was the nearest. However, the train company employees were going on strike the day I left Paris. Just the day I left Paris. Consequently, I skipped Avignon to the... Yeah, okay. I will have a workcation. Wow. Visiting the lavender fields in Provence. How beautiful. 2 weeks later. In 2 weeks. Careful, you don't mean 2 weeks later. You mean in 2 weeks' time. Careful on that one. In 2 weeks' time. If work allows. No, it's just work, not the work. If work allows, I'll definitely do the contractions. I'll be free after 2. Besides, got a few small gifts. Really nice. Just goes so. Thus, it's a bit formal, only in writing. So I'm hoping lovely. Oh, so nice. Good. Well, it's a lovely letter. Well, you wouldn't put yours sincerely if this is a friend, because this is quite informal. So best wishes to you all. Would be quite nice. See you soon. So it's very important you show the examiner this distinction between formal and informal on these general tasks. That's really one of the main things that we're looking for. But good work, Angela. Keep going.